Our grammar lesson for today is relative pronouns. This is something that we did in French too. We used the relatives pronouns qui and que last year, but we're adding in the donc pronoun this year. And a relative pronoun is something you may not know what it is in English. So what a relative pronoun does is it links together two phrases, two complete sentences, and you're combining them into one sentence. And you can do this in a situation where you have two sentences where you have the same noun that is used in both sentences and you're rewriting it as one sentence. It's a little bit more complex, but you're trying to avoid repeating that noun. We do this in English. We have relative pronouns that, which, and who. Now in English, when you're choosing between which ones to use, you're going to use who if it's a person, and you're going to use that or which if it's a thing. The criteria that we use to choose between qui, que, and donc is a little bit different in French, but we'll go through those steps in a minute. Just showing you in English examples of this so that you see that this is something that we do. I have a cat. My cat is black. So you see in that sentence, we have cat in both sentences. We have the same noun, and we can combine that into the sentence, I have a cat that is black. So in this second sentence, you see that you have the noun cat one time, and you have the relative pronoun that. So relative pronoun is a pronoun. Pronouns replace nouns. So what we're doing is taking that and using it to replace the second time that we use the word cat. So I have a cat, my cat is black. I have a cat that is black. It allows us to avoid repeating the noun cat. You're listening to a song, I like the song. So we have song and song in each sentence there. We can combine it. I missed the arrow right there, so there should have been an arrow right there, turning that into one sentence. You're listening to a song that I like. So the word song appears one time in that sentence, and also the relative pronoun that. When you're going to choose in French which relative pronoun to use, it's going to be dependent on the part of speech of the noun that you're replacing. So what we're going to do, we did the same thing in English, but you've probably not noticed, is that it was the second noun that went away. So in French, we have to look at, in that second sentence, the noun that we're replacing, what part of speech is it? Is it the subject? Is it the direct object? Or is it the object of the preposition de? We haven't really talked about object of preposition, but an object of a preposition is any noun that comes right after a preposition in a prepositional phrase. So with de, it can mean about. So it might be about the girl, as in the sentence, we're talking about the girl. We've already talked about subjects a lot this year, so we know that the subject is in the beginning of the sentence. It comes in front of the verb. It's what the subject is about. Direct objects, they come after the verb in the sentence. It's what gets verbed. So to choose between a subject and a direct object, you're looking at the sentence and you're looking to see if that noun is in front of the verb, making it the subject, or if it's after the verb, making it the direct object. With de, you're going to just be looking for that word de. If you've got a noun in the second sentence, your common noun, if it comes right after the word de, then you've got the object or the preposition in that case. So looking at 3 examples here in terms of what part of speech is it, I bolded the one that we're making the choice about. It's always the noun that's in the second sentence that we're determining if it's the subject, the direct object, or the object of the preposition. So j'ai un chien, mon chien est vieux. I have a dog, my dog is old. So in the second sentence here, the mon chien, we are deciding if it's the subject, the direct object, or if it's the object or the preposition. In this case, it's the subject because it's at the beginning of the sentence and it's what the sentence is about. So we have subject as our part of speech here. Second example, j'ai un chien, tu aimes mon chien. I have a dog, you like my dog. In this case, the mon chien is the direct object. It is being verbed. It's what is liked in the sentence, and it's also coming after the verb. So we have tu, the subject, aime, the verb, and mon chien is the direct object. Third example, j'ai un chien, nous parlons de mon chien. We have that preposition de there, so automatically that makes us the object of de, the object of the preposition de. So the next step is, if the noun is the subject, so right here, if the noun that we're replacing is the subject of the sentence, we're going to replace it with qui. Like the second example, if the noun that we're replacing, the noun in the second sentence, is the direct object, we're going to replace it with que. And that's something that we had done last year. If the noun is the object of the preposition de, we're going to replace it with donc. This is what's new. Okay. Now the next question is, where does that preposition go? When you put the qui, que, or donc into the sentence, where does it go? And it is going to take the place of the period. Because remember, we have 2 sentences separated by a period, and we're combining them into one sentence. So we're taking out that period that separates the two sentences, and the qui, que, or dont is going in the place of the period. It's going to be the connector. It's not a conjunction, but it's functioning like a conjunction, that it's going to connect those two sentences together. In front of a vowel, the word qui is never going to change. Even though you've got the I there at the end and a vowel could come next, it's not going to change it. Que, on the other hand, will become Q apostrophe in front of a vowel, and don't doesn't change, so it's going to stay just like that. Next really important detail, I have the same examples here that were on the first page. So we decided that in the first example, j'ai un chien, mon chien est vieux, we decided that mon chien was the subject and it's going to be replaced with qui. So that will give us the sentence, j'ai un chien qui est vieux. Apple Pencil's not cooperating right now. Okay. In the second one, it was the direct object. So we're replacing the mon chien, and it'll give us j'ai un chien que tu aimes. And the last one, we're going to replace the de along with the noun mon chien to give us j'ai un chien dont nous parlons. Okay. And I'll walk through the first three right here with you, but before that I want you to note what I wrote above. It says don't fall into the trap that thinking qui is who and que is what. That is true, but that is when those words are being used as question words, not when they're being used here as relative pronouns. Same word, multiple purposes. It's the exact same thing with English. The word that, it's a relative pronoun. I know the story that you're talking about. But the word that also can be a demonstrative. I like that car. So it's the same word, but it's serving two different functions, exactly like qui and que are doing here. So with these examples right here, tu manges la tarte, j'ai fait la tarte. The first thing you have to do is find the noun that exists in both sentences. So we have la tarte, la tarte. It's always the second one that we're getting rid of. We have to ask ourselves, in the second sentence, is la tarte the subject, the direct object, or the object of de? In this case, it's the direct object because it's coming after the verb and there's no de in front of it. So when we put that together, tu manges la tarte que j'ai fait. Okay. Second one, j'ai acheté les oranges. Les oranges viennent de la Floride. Les oranges. In the second sentence, the one that we're going to replace, les oranges is the subject, comes right in front of the verb. So we get, I'm going to be lazy here, j'ai acheté les oranges qui viennent de la Floride. And in the third one, je lis un livre, tu parles du livre. Now remember that du is de and le combined, so it's a contraction there. So that makes it the object of de. So it's going to be replaced with don't to give us je lis un livre dont tu parles. I'm going to leave you with the last three that you can try on your own, and then you can check the answers down at the bottom if you'd like to check your work before you go on to the assignment.